This show is part of the RetroZap.com podcast network.
Now, prepare yourselves for Starships, Sabers, and Scoundrels Special Edition.
This is so wizard.
You feeling me, Huntress Wizard? Oh, I was just stepping to you, girl, with my intellectual wizard politics.
I am an enchanter.
Wizards only. Fools. Wizards rule.
There are some who call me Tim.
Greetings, Tim the Enchanter.
Nope. Wizards only. Wizards only, fools.
Well, hello there, scoundrels. What have we here? Well, it's a new edition of That's So Wizard, a monthly rundown of the latest and greatest Star Wars fashion and lifestyle products from all corners of the galaxy. So this is our Scoundrels Special Edition this time, and I am joined by my wonderful co-host, Dennis Keithley. How are you doing tonight, Dennis?
I am doing fantastic, Jay. This is going to be a fun discussion. We haven't had a chance to do any fashion lately, so this will be great.
Yeah, I know. I'm really looking forward to this. And Darth Taxus has been really busy with the Assessor Collector here lately, so he was unable to join us for this particular special edition, but he'll definitely be back with us on our next regular edition of Starship, Sabers, and Scoundrels. Yeah! So yeah, if you've been joining us on some of the last special editions here, this is our third That's So Wizard that we've done as a special edition. So we did a back to school, and then we did a fan / tailgating That's So Wizard as well. So that last one was a lot of fun, I felt like. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was it was a different angle that we hadn't covered, whether as a special edition or as a feature of one of our regular shows. So that was a fun angle to take.
Right. So this time around, we have a whole bunch of stuff to go over. So whether you're in need of some new clothing styles, some accessories, ideas for sweetest day gifts, or even Halloween goodies, this is the place to be. So let's just jump right in. Just recently, we had New York City Comic-Con. And of course, there's always news that comes out of the cons for everything, whether it's toys or collectibles. And of course, fashion and accessories was no exception. So the big reveal was from PoZu, which if you've tuned into us in the past, you know that we've covered a lot of the different products from PoZu. And they've launched their new Rebel Combat Boot. And that was revealed on October 4th. That Thursday at NYCC, where visitors to the con were actually the first to snag the new style, which is really cool, days before the rest of the world, but it is now available to the rest of us on their website. So if you're unfamiliar with PoZu, they're definitely something that I know I have grown to know and love. They have quality, sustainable, ethically grown materials, and the new Rebel Combat Boot is available in both monochromatic black or khaki canvas high top style. And they feature a side zipper closure as well as lace-ups. And these are really, really good-looking shoes. I'm really liking the khaki ones. So they are priced at around 79 pounds on the website, which is roughly $103 exchange rate currently. So what did you think of these, Dennis?
They are quite nice, actually. I was trying to figure out if they were inspired by any particular style from the movies, and nothing was coming to mind. But that being said, these are something that you could wear without it not necessarily screaming that they were Star Wars. Especially, the picture that you put on our notes has someone with the cuff of their jeans rolled up a little bit, which reveals the logo on the side of the shoe. But if you didn't do that, this would blend in quite nicely just as regular attire. So you could have your Star Wars cake and, not necessarily shout out your inner geekdom as well at the same time. But they are quite nice looking boots.
Yeah, and the khaki style, I know, is really a rage right now. I see a lot of this around, especially with the teenagers that I teach at the high schools, and even with college kids and just everybody in general. That khaki color is the in color of the season. But of course, black is always classic, so that's a good one too. But it's cool because it's unisex, so guys and girls could wear it. And I would definitely snag a pair of those khaki ones if given the chance. They're pretty good looking shoes. All right. So also coming out of NYCC, Invicta Watches has unveiled a new Star Wars collection. And these watches are pretty amazing. There are pages and pages and pages of them on their website. And I actually got to see some of the pictures Fantha Tracks had posted from NYCC. And so I'm just going to read from the website what the description is. It says, the thrill of the iconic and the innovation of Invicta come together in the Star Wars Limited Editions collection. Creating its own epic galaxy, the collection is comprised of exclusive limited edition timepieces for both men and women. Iconic characters from the films are integrated throughout the dials of each model. Through detailed design and meticulous engineering, each character's on-screen personality is authentically reflected in every model. The legendary heritage of Star Wars, teamed with the forward ingenuity of Invicta, makes for the most collectible moment in this or any other system. I love that. The full force of Invicta time is now with you. So that was pretty cool. Whoever wrote that was very good with words.
Yeah, I was kind of looking for a technological terror that you could wear on your wrist. But they do seem to have captured the spirit of Star Wars with that description right there.
Absolutely. And I'm telling you what, Scoundrels, if you go on their website, there are, like I said, there's pages and pages. There's actually 9 pages of different designs, and there's probably about maybe 15 different designs on every page. So they have everything from some of the more classic looking watch face styles through some of the more sporty looking ones. They have some of the metal bands and some of the more leather type bands, and I mean, you name it, they've got it, and different styles of faces. And I mean, wow, there's just a lot to be said about these watches. Different gold tones and silver tones and jewel tones. I mean, there's definitely something for everyone. But one thing, if you know anything about Invicta, you know that they're on the pricey side, and these are definitely no exception, and they average around $1,400 each.
Ooh. Yeah.
Talk about breaking the piggy bank, right? You know, BB-8 with all those coins in them over at Canto Bite. I don't even know if that would pay for one of these watches, but they are gorgeous. And like I said, there's 9 different pages of designs to pick from.
Well, speaking of BB-8, one of the ones that you put in our notes here is the orange and white faced watch that looks like it's obvious it's a BB-8 design. Mm-hmm. And then they've done a really great job integrating some of the other characters in these watches, especially C-3PO and R2-D2. C-3PO works really well with the gold color against the black band. R2-D2, it's kind of subtle, but it's clear what it is with the blue and the white stripes that they've got for those faces. And then, of course, there's some all black ones that you've provided samples of that are Darth Vader that look really good. But even then, some of the other designs you picked out, which is a gold face with the black Darth Vader mask on it, a white on black Vader and Stormtrooper. Just on the dozen or the 16 or so that you provided samples of for me to look at, there's some really attractive designs that they've got going on.
I agree. And I don't know if you noticed the one on the sample where it has, and I'm sorry if I don't get this right for those of you that are watch aficionados, but there's the 3 different little inset chronograph type things, and it has the different symbols. So there's the Imperial symbol, and then it looks like maybe the head of Darth Vader. So I'm assuming that those are different styles, maybe military time and whatnot, but it's really super cool. And then they've got some that are more of like a neon. So they have more of like the different neon color, rainbow color backgrounds, which is really, really neat. So there's a lot of styles to choose from, but it's definitely more than a watch. Definitely more than a timepiece. Again, if you know anything about Invicta, they've been around since 1837. So if you're going to purchase one of these, I mean, it's definitely something that can be investment that can be passed down to future generations. So, I mean, there is that if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah, definitely something to choose from for every style and taste.
So check that out. And I'd love to see if anyone ends up getting one of those watches. I'd love to see what they look like, because they're really neat. All right, so you want some other fundies? I've got some undies. So yes, from the underworld, we have underwear. So there's a company called MeUndies, and it's M-E, and then the word undies all put together. And they have a new Star Wars style undergarments collection celebrating the saga in a fun way. So I know the MeUndies line, no pun intended, has come across my Instagram feed quite often as one of those sponsored ads, which is quite ironically how I find out about a lot of the new products, because, you know, Big Brother's watching, I guess, and Instagram knows everything. But I've seen the MeUndies line before. And so when the Star Wars one popped up, of course, you know, I perked up like a dog seeing a squirrel. And they're really neat. It's the way that the MeUndies basically works is that they operate with a member/subscription option. So you can either do that, or you can just buy them outright. So they have two different price ranges for whether or not you decide to become a member. But the Star Wars style, getting back to this one specifically, they're glow in the dark. So I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, that is certainly different from underwear.
Right? I know. I mean, I have a t-shirt that I got from a nighttime run. It's called a lightning bug run, and that glows in the dark. But that's like the only glow in the dark thing I own. So it's pretty neat because in the ad they show what they look like, you know, in the daytime, and then once you turn the lights off, what they would look like. So yeah, they give you the full range.
I've heard about MeUndies plenty. They sponsor a number of different sports podcasts that I listen to, and
okay,
yeah, so I was familiar with them. And then, like you mentioned, you've been seeing their ads on Instagram. They've been showing up a lot on my feed on Facebook, so they're not too hard to find. But I've heard about their subscription service quite a bit. But I guess the Star Wars is fairly new to their collection.
That's really neat. It really is. And so I love what they put on their website as well. It says that the company hopes that wearing them each day, quote, will invigorate you to take on each day with the same fortitude as taking on the whole empire yourself. These little puns that these companies come up with. I mean, they've got to, honestly, they've got to have some Star Wars fans on site and on staff for them to be able to pull these out, I would think. But
I think so.
Pretty clever. So the print that they have offered features a royal blue background with all of our favorite characters' heads, kind of a cutesy little cartoony style, and the black upper trim / elastic is in contrast to that royal blue. So again, you know, they're just kind of fun, but you can get matching styles. So you can get one for yourself and for your significant other. And you know, Sweetest Day is coming up. So that's going to be right around the corner. It's what is it, the 20th?
I have to confess, I'm not sure I've ever heard of Sweetest Day before.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, of course, it's a made-up company that originated with the American Greetings Corporation back in, I believe, the late 1980s, if anyone wants to check my facts on that one. But again, you know, it's one of those holidays that was basically created to sell cards and create arguments among people who are in a relationship.
Okay, yeah, I did a quick internet search on this, and it says Sweetest Day is a holiday that is celebrated in the Midwestern United States and parts of the Northeastern United States. Also the northern part of Florida on the third Saturday in October. It is a day to share romantic deeds or expressions. So this year it is on October 20th. Okay, I'm from the Midwest originally, but I guess it just wasn't a thing in the St. Louis area, or at least not back in the day when I was there. I had never heard of it here in Texas either.
Wow.
So this is a brand new one, but I guess why not celebrate it with some MeUndies?
There you have it. And I didn't realize that it was a regional United States thing. I just thought it was a United States thing in general because it's American Greetings that I believe is the company that basically, quote unquote, founded the holiday.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are not familiar with it, you can, have another reason to do some gift giving to your sweetie or your bestie or whoever you want. But yeah, it's kind of along the same lines as Valentine's Day. I like the holiday, but yet, I just don't feel like you need a holiday to express your affection for someone else, but I guess it gives you a good excuse.
Yeah, the same site I was looking at was suggesting the greeting cards was was something to do on that day. So yeah, definitely a Hallmark holiday, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. So if you do decide to get these, though, for Sweetest Day or any other occasion, they have different men's styles, which include boxer briefs, men's trunks, traditional boxers, and the briefs. And it's $24 if you buy them outright, $16 if you're a member. And then for the ladies, they have cheeky briefs. I love that. Bikinis and boy shorts for $24 or $18. So $24 if you're not a member, $18 if you are. And if you decide to sign up to get the subscription option, you can choose your favorite undie style. So if you, as a guy, if you really like the boxer briefs, you just check boxer briefs, and whatever style is up for the next month, they'll just send you, that particular type. But if 1 month you're like, you know what, I'm going to go for the traditional boxers this month, you can always change it up, and you can skip a month too. So I think it'd be kind of interesting to try. I don't think I need them that often, to change them. I'm more of a sock person, quite honestly. And I know you are too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I do enjoy my Star Wars socks.
Yes. I just like socks, period. I have a weird obsession with socks. I have 5 drawers of socks.
Oh, okay.
I do. It's
that's different. I enjoy my socks, but I have a drawer of them. So
I have socks that are probably older than my children. I'm not even kidding. And my oldest one's going to be 19 in November. So, but yeah, I have them all by style. So I have my patterned socks, so all my character socks, and then I have my plain colored socks, and then I have a drawer for just all white athletic socks, and then high knee socks, and then dress socks. So, it's okay. I'm kind of weird that way. So
you're pretty organized.
Or pretty obsessive, I guess, one of the two. So you can check those out at MeUndies.com. And of course, all of these links will be on our show notes. So if anything tickles your fancy or trips your trigger, Scoundrels, you can always check that one out. So, since we've kind of started talking about Sweetest Day, I found something else too, but I thought this would be really neat, even just as kind of a keepsake thing for anyone to keep one, give another. And have you seen, I'm sure you remember the hazy and smelt pendants that Rose and her sister Paige wore in The Last Jedi?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so now you can get a set of necklaces that perfectly mimic those pendants. So these are made by Body Vibe, and they feature the crescent moon shape and have the same engravings as well. They are gold tone with kind of an antique look, so they look pretty similar to the ones that you see in the movie. And Amazon has them. They list the pendants as quote-unquote base metal. So not like bass metal as in, headbanging guitar kind of bass metal. But right. So I'm not exactly sure what that means by that. So if anyone out there knows, you can let me know. One has a silver chain and the other one has a gold chain. And they both have a lobster claw clasp closure. Say that 10 times fast. Which those are nice because they tend to stay in place a little bit better. And it's licensed by Lucasfilm, and they do come as a set. So you can keep one and, give it to your significant other, best friend, family member, etc. And so these are pretty good looking. They're $17.38 right now on Amazon, and Prime is available. And I also found them on a few different websites as well, one being HalloweenCostumes.com. And they were priced a little bit more at $24.99 there. So if you have Amazon and you can get the Prime for 2 days shipping, you might as well save a little bit of money. So
yeah, I think by base metal, what they mean is it's not a precious metal. It's not gold or silver or anything like that. It's just going to be a more common type metal. They just didn't identify which one here. And I'm trying to remember, there was a story behind these pendants that was discussed in the Cobalt Squadron book, I believe. And I just can't remember what all the details were, other than that's something that they brought with them when they left their home world, which was overrun by the First Order. So
right
there you are. But those are nice little pendants. I mean, it's not going to break your bank, and it'd be, it's, for the Star Wars fan, definitely be something fun to have.
Yeah, it's fun for everyday cosplay type thing. Just like, I have the Kira necklace, both the Crimson Dawn and then the one that she wears as, it's like a bar necklace. And I actually wear those quite a bit. And then I have the the earrings, the drop earrings as well, that are the sabak dice. So this is just another one of those things. It would be nice, though, I'm not going to lie, to know what that base metal is, because I just know from personal experience, I myself don't have a real sensitivity to some of the imitation metal, so to speak, but I do know some people that do. So if it's something that might irritate their skin, it'd be kind of nice to know exactly what that base metal is, and it's just simply not listed there. So if you have a real, what am I want to say? I almost want to say predestination, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Predisposition. There you go. To getting allergies from metals, you might want to maybe check this out and see what you can find first before you order them. But I'm sure you can always send it back if it causes irritation as well. But again, those are on Amazon.com, and you can check our show notes. And so now let's get on to some of the really interesting new lines that are available from some of our tried and true favorites. So Muster Brand is back with some new designs, especially for men. So their new line is really cool, and just in time for those upcoming cooler fall and winter weather months here in the States, I know. Although it was 85 degrees here in Ohio. Ugh, man, we're talking mid-October and it's 85 degrees.
I think it was actually cooler here in Texas right now. So
it probably was. I think this is going to be our last week of really hot weather, but so we can start breaking out these jackets for sure. So the first one is a Rebel pilot jacket, and this is available right now for pre-order. And the pre-orders, they didn't say online when they would be shipped and ready to go. So I'm assuming they'll probably be within the next month to 6 weeks, but you might want to just check back. But if you see anything you really like, the pre-order is always a great way to go. And this one is really neat. It's fully reversible, and on the outside it's orange with the gray trim around the neck and the arms and the waist, and then it has a small Rebel symbol on the right breast side, or you can turn it inside out for a full gray jacket featuring the Rebel symbol large and in charge on the center back. So it's right between the shoulder blades. And then stripes from shoulder to wrist. And there's also some complimentary piping on the pockets in the front as well. And from the picture, it looks like the stripes on the gray side and the details on the gray side are almost more of a maroon. Do you see that in the picture as well there? Because the zipper pull looks like it's orange.
Yeah,
just like the other side.
The orange side looks like it's very much that Rebel pilot jacket orange from the X-Wing pilot uniform. The gray side, at least on my monitor, it's actually kind of looks like a light bluish gray color with a dark red crimson or maroon stripe on the side, but I do see that there's that orange zipper in the center. So I don't know if that's just peeking through from the other side or what.
Right. So it's, and actually I've looked at this on a couple of different monitors, and they look exactly the same. So like I said, it looks almost maroonish, but interesting to see. But they've got a really good look to them. It's kind of more, it does look like a flight jacket. I mean, it's got that really authentic kind of look to it. And I mean, would this be something that you would wear? Would you consider it?
Yeah, I do like it. There's a couple things. There's something else coming up on this list that I prefer. Okay. But it's a nice jacket, and I do like the color. But compared to something else you're about to bring up, it's not my favorite. But anyways, I'll let you go on.
All right. Well, I'm wondering if this is it. This is the Jedi Knight cardigan, and it is a heavy, long men's double-breasted cardigan sweater, and it features a textured front and back with rippled sleeves, and the outer sleeves match the textured front and back, and it elevates the style of this Jedi-inspired piece that also features an oversized hood and the iconic silicone badge on the left shoulder. And this is really sharp. Is this the one that you were looking at?
No, but it is. But it is very cool. I like it very much. I actually think I like it a bit more than the last jacket we were talking about. That last jacket is okay, you'll have to forgive me. I'm not really great at describing fashion, but the orange side is a bit more flat looking. The gray side is a bit more glossy looking, for lack of a better description. This cardigan, and so that glossy is not quite my taste, but this cardigan is very, very stylish. They have a very handsome model wearing it as well in the pictures here, and it is quite cool. It looks like, again, it's one of these things where it definitely has the Star Wars flair and the Star Wars feel without it not necessarily being screaming that it is Star Wars. So it's something that you could wear out without necessarily, well, basically I'm saying is it's multifunctional without not necessarily saying this is Star Wars and maybe otherwise being inappropriate on a more formal or business or work type setting.
And that's the kind of fashion that I really love. I mean, yes, I do like to be sometimes in your face with some of the fashion choices that I pick in terms of Star Wars, but I do appreciate that subtlety because you can wear it to a larger variety of events and places and not feel like you're screaming in someone's face, hey, I'm a Star Wars fan, So, and this one I'm thinking this one would actually look really good with the PoZu high top black boot.
Oh, definitely. Well, either one pairs as far as I'm concerned. It look good with both. Yeah,
definitely. Because, well, it's kind of like that white. It's almost like grayish white. It's an off-white is what it looks like in the picture. But yeah, so this is, and the nice thing about all of these from PoZu is they're all machine washable. So you don't have to take them to the dry cleaner. I mean, you could if you really wanted to, but this one's actually available right now for $149.99. So you don't have to wait to pre-order this one. If it's something that you like, you can snag it right now. So you'll have to check that one out. But the buttons in the front, there's 4 larger buttons that come across. And so it does kind of look almost like a tunic in a way that's been enclosed with the buttons, so it's pretty stylish looking. Definitely. So it's got to be the next one then.
Yes, because
of course we love our Scoundrels and Smugglers, and Mustard Brand also has a piece to fit just that style, and it's called the Kessel Crew Jacket. This is sharp. I know I want this too. I'm not going to lie. And I'll read you what it says on the website. It says, no Star Wars story is complete without Han Solo's I can't say this word. Braggadocio, thank you, swagger, and high-stakes antics beyond the controls of the Millennium Falcon. This high-quality jacket is 100% soft suede-like polyester, lined inside with 100% cotton, imprinted with the Millennium Falcon, and is worthy of any crew member that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. It features a stylish contrast yoke and contrasting stitching, 2 pockets in the dividing seams, 2 pen pockets, 1 sleeve pocket, and 1 inside pocket. So this thing's got lots of pockets. Yeah. But how sharp is this?
Oh, this is the best. This is the best of the 3 that were on the list from Mustard Brand here. And I really like brown leather suede type jackets, so this is right up my alley, and it is it's quite stylish. Again, it's one of those things that it bears a very strong resemblance to something you've seen on the screen without necessarily being a 100% replica of it. But this is quite this is spectacular. This is a really good piece.
And I love the fact that, it harkens back to the old bomber jackets, of the 90s that were super popular too, yes, which are making a comeback, by the way. So, I mean, you could do your cosplay with this jacket or, bring back the style that's becoming ever popular. And you're absolutely right. It doesn't take the style directly from the costume. It's more that it's inspired by it. And that's what I love. My Gen Urso jacket that I have from Mustard Brand is definitely one of my favorite pieces that I own. And it's lined on the inside as well, like this one is. But, of course, it has a different symbol on the inside. But yeah, this is really, really cool. So it's featured right now on the website. It's for pre-order as well. And again, it's machine washable. So I don't know if I'd want to put this one in the washer, though. I mean, yeah, it's a washable suede, but I think I might take this one to the dry cleaners just to be.
Yeah, I'd be afraid to put that one in the washer.
Right.
It's just I know they said it's polyester, but at the same time, if it looks like suede and it feels like suede, I'm afraid it would be treated like suede in the washer.
Exactly.
And I'm not sure that's the best idea.
Yeah, and of course, suede has that nap that when you brush it one way versus the other, it gives you a different look. And I would be afraid that throwing it in the washing machine might, mess that up. So for $189.99, you can get this one. And watch Muster Brand too, because they throw out flash sales every once in a while, especially if you follow them on Instagram or you subscribe to their newsletter. They throw out like 20% off coupons all the time. So just watch for those flash sales and you can get things, fairly inexpensively compared to what the list prices are. And I'm telling you what, I absolutely adore Muster Brand. Their quality is impeccable, and I've never been upset with any of their pieces, and they're really a lot of fun to wear. So yeah, and the holidays are coming up too. I mean, they're right around the corner, which is crazy to even think about. But if you're thinking about putting together your gift list or even your own wish list, you can start putting some of the stuff on there. So again, check out those show note links, and you can find all of these things. So, and speaking of holidays, Halloween's right around the corner.
Indeed.
My favorite holiday.
Well, it is popular with the Starships, Sabers, and Scoundrels crowd. That's for certain.
Absolutely. We've got that clientele, so to speak. So I found on the Kessel Runway, which of course has been a past Wizard Award winner on the show, and of course I follow that website pretty religiously, and she had on a great rounding up of some Halloween pickings for the ladies especially. And so there's she calls it the Leia's List, and she does this weekly where she tries to gather a bunch of different things from one theme, so to speak. And so I just happened to see this one, and she had a whole bunch of Halloween tops from Fifth Sun and Amazon. So you could get things like tank tops, t-shirts, 3/4 length sleeve, baseball, jersey type shirts, that type of thing. And I just snagged the baseball jersey one that has Vader as a skeleton with the two little stormtroopers kind of off to the side, and there's a bunch of bones, and it almost looks like TIE fighters, but they look like candy, like wrapped candy.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was adorable. So I ordered that when I was putting together my show notes for recording, and so I will have to let the Scoundrels know when I get that one what I think of it. But there's a Porg that looks like a ghost, and it says boo, and then there's BB-8 as a carved pumpkin, and then there's a lot of other fun designs too. I mean, they've got sort of a mimicking bleeding stormtrooper and a Vader in a coffin with little stormtrooper ghosts. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of different designs which are a lot of fun. And again, that's in the show notes under the Kessel Runway. So next we have some costumes. We have dogs. All of us have dogs. Have you ever dressed up your dog for Halloween?
Oh, no. He would hate that.
Well, I'm wondering what my puppers might think. He'll be 8 months old almost 8 months old when Halloween rolls around. So he's still kind of in the Chewy stage, so to speak. But Chewy.com, ironically, has some really neat Halloween costumes for the puppers. And the one that I picked out is provided through them by Ruby's Costume Company. And it is a Bantha costume.
It's adorable.
This thing is hilarious. It's a one-size-fit-all made from soft flannel, and it has Velcro closures at the waist and neck and fiber-filled horns for the Bantha. And to top it off, there's a 13-inch Tusken Raider, stuffed like Tusken Raider sitting atop the mouth. And this poor dog, it's a collie that they show in the picture, almost looks like, will you get this thing off of me already?
I recognize that expression.
It's the most adorable thing. Could you see a whole herd of dogs coming down the street for trick-or-treat night, wearing a bunch of Bantha costumes with Tusken Raiders on them?
Yeah, that would be hysterical. I can't imagine how many of the little Tusken Raiders would survive. I mean, my dog would pull that off and chew it up pretty quickly, rip all the stuffing right out of it. But it is it is pretty cute. The dog just
Yeah.
The dog's not having it, but they got it to hold still long enough to take a picture. Exactly.
I guess only 1 second is all it takes, but you know, they're very easily startled, but soon they'll be back in greater numbers.
That's true.
So they also have a bunch of other things on the site. So again, it's Chewy.com. They have AT-ATs, a Darth Vader costume, Yoda headbands. I mean, you name it. They've got so many different things. And yeah, I could just see my puppy trying to like bite towards those horns on the side of his head the whole time, just chasing it around his head.
Yeah, definitely so.
Oh my goodness. So of course, Halloween costumes for the adults and the kids are out there all the time, every year. But this one I thought was really unique. I've never seen this one before, and it's from HalloweenCostumes.com. I'm sure it's available probably other places as well. But it's an inflatable Han in carbonite costume. This thing is hilarious. It's just like those, if you've seen those people that dress in those T-Rex costumes that they're inflatable as well.
Yeah.
And it has the little battery operated fan that you can secure like in your pocket or waist. So it's literally you as Han in carbonite. So your face sticks out the front of this inflatable, and then your hands stick out the front as well. And it comes with the Han mask, so you'll look just like you're a frozen Han Solo in carbonite.
Yeah. Now, okay, when I was slipping through the notes to look at this, I didn't actually stop and read the description, and at first I thought it was an inflatable for the pool. And it's like, well, first we were dealing with the frozen Han and carbonite yoga mat, and now we've got the pool inflatable. But no, you're right. This is a costume. I'm very curious about this. Not that I want to get it. I just trying to figure out how you would get around in this thing. I think it would be difficult to walk in.
I'm thinking, like I said, it's probably a lot like those T-Rex ones. It's got to be at least somewhat flexible, I would think. Yeah. But like my son said, he said, hopefully nobody knocks you down a hill when you're wearing this thing. Because who knows how flexible you would actually be. But they don't sell the gloves that it's pictured with, but you just buy a pair of gray gloves. Yeah, I was wondering about that
because the picture here has a gray, someone with a gray face and hands, and I was wondering how they pulled that off. But okay, so it's a separate mask and gloves.
Well, the mask does come with the costume, just not the gloves.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could just paint your, face gray, I suppose, and just buy a pair of cheap gray gloves to go with it. But, I mean, it's definitely a conversation piece for a party. I don't know how well you'd be able to eat your salsa and nachos, but, or even
unwrapping the candy, getting it to your face as well.
Yeah. You could pop some candy corn in the air, though, and catch it maybe.
There you go.
Who knows? But it just looks like it's so much fun. And like I said, it's just unique. So that's why I picked it out. But it is $85. It's $84.99 plus shipping and handling. So it's a little pricey for a blow-up costume. But I suppose you could wear it, I don't know, for other stuff. You could wear it to cons. I mean, that would be interesting to see somebody walking around a con with this thing on. Like a celebration.
People are willing to pay for costumes that they enjoy. So,
heck yeah.
I could see this appealing to somebody.
Mm-hmm. Heck, I would wear this. I think it's hilarious. I don't know what it is about me with Han and carbonite, but I seem to keep, migrating back to that for some reason. So.
That you do.
All right. So last but not least here, before we get to our Wizard Award, I picked out a few more Halloween decor items. And Walmart has a few different 12-inch light-up pumpkins for between $19.99 and $24.99. And they're all black with a faux carved orange scene. So they do come with a 36-inch UL cord. So underwriters listed, is that what UL means? I believe, but it just means it's not going to catch on fire very easily. 100% polypropylene, so they're kind of a plastic-y sort of thing. It uses a C7 bulb, which is included, and it can be used indoor or outdoor. So if you want some outdoor decor, that's kind of cool. So they have a Yoda, trick-or-treating Yoda on kind of a spooky scene, and then just Yoda's face. That one's actually creepy in and of itself, I'm not going to lie.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
He almost looks like zombie Yoda in a way.
He looks really tired.
He does indeed. And then you've got Darth Vader with just the yellow glowing eyes. So those are kind of fun. Again, that's Walmart.com. And Walmart also has, speaking of inflatables, if you like them for the yard, I know we see a lot of those around here. Are they popular in Texas too? People put them all out in your yards?
Yeah. I haven't seen too many Star Wars ones, but I've seen plenty of witches and pumpkins and monsters and things like that in people's yards.
So Walmart does have a 3.5-foot tall LED lit Yoda holding a pumpkin. So, and that's priced at $42.95. He kind of looks very Dracula-y. Dracula-esque, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. Don't you think? I don't know. He doesn't look much like his Jedi Master self in this.
Well, it's obvious what he is with the ears and everything like that. I think it's the smiling expression on his face is just a little off. But yeah, it's clearly Yoda. But yeah, there's something about the face.
I think it would be even better if he wasn't just holding a pumpkin. Maybe if he was holding like, you know, stormtrooper head or something like that would have been.
Ooh, now you're getting violent.
But yeah, Yoda would never do that, right?
No, not so much.
But the little fan thing is sold separately, so you'll have to buy that one separately. And for the trick-or-treaters, I want these bowls. They're so cool. There's a whole variety of Star Wars candy bowls. And I found them at several retailers, but the best prices were through trendyhalloween.com. Listed just below $30 at $29.81. And these are all plastic, and they stand at 18 inches high, and they have an 11-inch wide bowl and base. So 11 inches wide bowl, that's a pretty decent sized bowl to put candy in, but they have Yoda and Darth Vader. There's a Jawa, a Stormtrooper. So it'd just be kind of fun, even just not necessarily for the trick-or-treaters, just to set out as a piece of decor to put the in.
This would be something I left inside. I'm not certain if I left it outside unattended, it would still be there at the end of the evening on Halloween. Because these are pretty cool. The proportions are not right because it's a little statue for holding a bowl. But it's pretty cute. Yoda, Darth Vader, Jawa, and Stormtrooper for certain.
Yeah, the Yoda is actually probably the more proportional one out of all of them.
Yeah,
the Darth Vader one. Oh yeah, definitely. The Darth Vader and the Stormtrooper almost remind me more of a Lego look in a way.
That's true.
In the proportions. So
the Jawa looks about right, but yeah, Vader and the Stormtrooper definitely. They look like a small child wearing one of those oversized helmets on their costumes. Comes down to it.
Good call. Yeah, you're absolutely right on that one. But yeah, I would love to have one of these. I think they're just really cool. All right, so once again, it is time for our Wizard Award for the month. So before we get into that, did you have anything else to add on any of the other products?
No, it's fun to have stuff for Halloween, though. If my dog would not just tear it up, I would definitely try and get one of those costumes for him. But I know that Tusken Raider wouldn't make it 20 minutes before it was a pile of stuffing on the floor.
I feel your pain. I really do. All right. So for the Wizard Award, again, if you've been with us before, you know what this is all about. But if you haven't, or if you need a quick reminder, it's simply an honorific that I choose to give to a shop, product, or person whom I feel deserves a bit of extra attention. So if you listen to our Back to School edition, you heard me mention Inca's footwear. And they are aligned actually with Flex watches, which I did not know that until I had gotten into some communication with some of their reps. And so I talked about Inca's on the Back to School edition, like I said, and they were actually kind enough to send me a pair of their shoes to try out. So they sent me the Geo Force Flex, which for our show notes, I have pictured right there for you, Dennis, so you can see which ones they sent me. But these are the ones that I ironically had specifically talked about that are all the rage right now with the elastic band that goes across the top instead of the laces. And I know I've seen tons of these around the high school where I teach. And so these are really a lot of fun. And they actually match the watch that I have from Flex. So now I have a matching watch and shoes that are of the same design. So these are basically like red and blue, and they have sort of a kaleidoscope design look to them. And they have Stormtrooper, C-3PO, Darth Vader, Yoda head on a white background with the elastic going across, which is gray. And I just love them. They're so comfortable. I can't even tell you how comfortable these shoes are. But one of the reasons why I chose this for my Wizard Award this month is not just because I love the shoes, but because, of course, I always try to pick companies that deserve a little extra, you know, in terms of the things that they do or what they stand for, or just that they have a cool, unique product. So Incas was actually a company that was started in Peru, and they use South American textiles to handcraft every shoe. It was started as a family-based company called the Andean Shoe Company, and they were in business for about 8 years, and they were just selling shoes locally, and they got really popular. So as a result of their expansion and popularity beyond the locals, they eventually became Incas Footwear. So now they are basically worldwide. You can get them in, you know, just about every country on the globe. And they have a mission and a philanthropy that they partner with called the One Shoe, One Tree Project. So Incas actually plants one tree, not themselves, but they sponsor a tree to be planted for every purchase of every pair of shoes. So they partnership with Trees for the Future, and they're helping reforest the world to provide sustenance for local populations in developing countries. So every tree that they plant basically has multiple uses. So it's not just a tree. So it's reforestation, improving soil condition, you know, in places where maybe the nutrients have been depleted from, you know, not rotating the crops or just overcropping, providing food for human and livestock consumption, and eventually timber as well. So they founded in 1989. Trees for the Future has assisted thousands of communities in planting more than 1 million trees in 19 different countries. So Incas is a big supporter of that, and so they're giving back by all of the shoes that they sell, and I just think that that's really, really cool. So congratulations to Incas. And again, they've been super supportive of me in terms of, you know, product sponsorship and just getting the word out there about what they do. And so you can check them out at Incas. It's INKKAS.com. What a great company. So congratulations to Incas.
Yep, definitely a worthy recipient. Well, that will do it for this Scoundrels Special Edition. If you want to find us on social media, we are at SQPod on Twitter and Instagram, and on Facebook at facebook.com/SQPod. You can email us at sqpod@retrozap.com. You can follow Darth Taxus on Twitter at Darth Taxus. Jay is at Joyce Krebs, and I am at DJKVER2. Speaking of RetroZap, we are a proud part of the retrozap.com podcast network. The network that is currently features more than a dozen shows covering everything from retro gaming and movies to the Animaniacs, collecting, Dune, Game of Thrones, and of course a ton of Star Wars. You can subscribe to the network feed to get them all in one place. And that's going to finally do it for this Scoundrels Special Edition. We'll talk to you all soon on another regular edition of the show and another Scoundrels Special Edition. So until then, may the Force be with you.